Hey y'all, it's Leah. I'm super excited to share my first design team project for Timeless Scraps. Kim over there has some really fun kits that I have been having a lot of fun playing with and just kind of getting to know. And I really like her style. It's pretty muted, which is kind of different from other designers that you will see. And it really fits my style and just the colors that I like to play with and the tones and that kind of stuff. So I made this little folio. I did not follow any directions or I've never really watched a video on like how to create a folio. I've just seen a bunch of them. And so I just kind of wung it and did my own thing. So if you're looking for sizes or dimensions and all of that stuff, I don't actually have them because I just sort of went with what worked and what I liked. So it is just a one sheet. I just used one sheet of cardstock and just covered everything. One sheet of cardstock for the base and then another sheet to make all the flaps that you'll see in just a second. So it is closed with just a paper clip with some crinkle ribbon. Sorry, I am not thinking straight right now. Just some dyed crinkle ribbon that I did. I do have a video on how I do the colors using the oxide inks, so check that out if you are interested in how I got this really cool green color. So the front, I just have a couple of her little pieces. This is the Farewell Summer kit that is a lot of fun. I have it linked below as well as my discount code. So if you're interested in checking that out, be sure to use the code for an extra little discount. So on this, I just cut out a couple of the pieces thanks to my Cricut. So that was, especially doing these little stamp edges, that would be really hard. So I do love my Cricut Joy Extra that allows me to cut out those pieces. So, and then I just added a little heat embossing powder to those just to kind of give it a little sparkle, so you don't really see it unless you are really looking at it. And then just a little lace. I found this at an antique store a couple of weeks ago when I was in Texas visiting my parents. So, and got a really good deal. It was like 9 yards for $2. Can't pass that up. So, all right, so let's open it up and see what we have inside. So again, I just started kind of cutting pieces of that cardstock and kind of making flaps. So they each have a piece that is folded over and it is inserted behind. Everything is glued to the front basically, and then I covered this. I put this page over the top, so it's got all the flaps glued to it in different places. So for this one, I used some of the stamps and this little what are they called? Just a postmark kind of thing. Sorry, like I said, it's my brain's not really functioning right now. It's in the evening, and so I'm just not thinking. So I just glued these together to a little strip of paper and then glued it down here, and then kind of went around like this to make a little pocket that just has some cute tickets, and added a little leaf to this one. Sometimes when I have tickets and tags that have the hole, sometimes I don't always want to put some ribbon through it. So I have found that enamel dots work really well. I have a pretty big collection of those from when I was focused on making cards. So I just sort of have an addiction to enamel dots. I really like them. And so it worked well for this piece. So then this flips up, and then I just have this real pretty flower. Again, the Cricut saved me because I would have never been able to cut that off. And then I just put a tea bag. It's a just a used tea bag. I get Tetley tea, and it comes in round tea bags, which I think is really cool. They're not the traditional kind of rectangle bags. And so I just put that behind it. And then I used just a little Wink of Stella to get some shine and some shimmer on there. Okay. And then we come to this pocket. So I just have a little cheesecloth behind this really pretty sunflower. Again, a little Wink of Stella on there just to give it a little shine. And then when you open it up, there's this really pretty envelope. And I have another tag that I just added a brad to. Some cool words, last light and golden glow. And then a little butterfly. And then my mom made me a bunch of the little metal antennae, and so she just takes wire and then bends them, and so I have a little bag of those, so I just added that on there. Little Wink of Stella here, and then we have, just trying to make sure I'm staying in frame for y'all. There we go. Okay. Then we have a little pocket here, and one of the things, like, I wanted to say, when you get digitals from different people online, feel free to like change them up, and like, you don't have to use them exactly as they were designed. For instance, this one had a piece of like paper behind it that made it look like something was in it, and so I wanted it to be an actual pocket, so I just cut that piece off. So don't be afraid, don't feel like you have to do it the right way, because there's not a right way. That's the cool thing about junk journaling, is you get to do your own thing. You've got all the tools and the resources in front of you, so just have fun and play around with it, and just make fun stuff. Okay. And then we have some little figs. I love that this has figs. My parents have a huge fig tree, so it's kind of our like, it's just one of our favorite family things that we have. So so that's there. And then we have this flap here, another one of those butterflies with some antennae, and I just added some lace behind that. And again, there were no rules as far as how I put these flaps together. I just started playing around and was like, okay, let's do one here and let's do one here. And so just have a play, have fun with it. That's the cool thing about junk journaling. Here I just have, this is just like some pieces of string that I had, and then I put that behind the stamp. For this one, this is another example of how I kind of took something that was in the kit and changed it up a little bit. So this paper behind had some sunflowers on it. They're real faded, and so I was like, okay, I want to bring those to the forefront. These were little fussy cuts that had a stem on them, a stem and leaves on them. So I just cut that off and then put them on top of where the flowers are. I only glued the center, and so that way the leaves kind of stick up, and it just adds some dimension. And then again, just a little Wink of Stella there, and then added those enamel dots to the ends of the words. So it just adds a little more dimension to these things. Okay, so we open this up, we have some journaling space. I like, whenever I do journaling space, to at least have something on the page, so I just added a pretty little fussy cut there. And then here I used some of the washi tape that comes in the kit and just turned it into a belly band, and so it's got just some little tickets and a little envelope, and it's just the front of an envelope. So I could have added something on there to make it a full envelope, but I didn't. Okay. And then this flap opens, and then I have this is another piece of the washi, and turn that into another belly band there. And then I decided, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with the background for this? And I was like, oh, I have all these journal cards that I haven't used. So I just decided to make a waterfall. So I took the top of the journal cards, scored them about 1/4 of an inch from the top, and then just laid those out. And then again, use some of the washi that she has as part of the washi strips that she has as part of the kit, and just glued them over the piece. So it just adds another little color. And then just added a little butterfly here. I didn't use the metal pieces on here. I just drew them in, because if it's going to be a journaling card, I didn't want to have that metal behind it. So we have another one, have these real pretty flowers. I love, just like I said, just kind of the simplicity of her kits, and the softness of her kits. They're just really, the colors that she uses are beautiful, and it's it's right up my alley. So I'm super excited to be part of this design team and get to play with all these fun things. So another fig leaf, and then another really pretty leaf. And then I was like, well, I still have some space down here. What do we add? So I took one of the envelopes, turned it into a pocket, and then just added a couple little more pieces there. Okay. So we close all that up. And again, these can be, you know, flipped. You could do it this way or this way. Have the flowers be more of the focal point, however you want to do it. And then the back is just these really pretty sunflowers on there. So that is my little folio. Again, check out Kim at Timeless Scraps. Link is below, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.